Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? It is the Sons of Montezuma podcast, and we are here on a Monday. What is going on, everybody? I want to thank you for joining the stream. We are now live, and well, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button before we do anything. Really helps the algorithm and all that good stuff. But we're going to be getting into a lot of different topics. We got a jam-packed show. Of course, you know it is Mateo San Diego. I'm an Aztec warrior. Friendly local Aztec warrior. And you know him to my right there. You cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain this man. It is SC Sports King. What up, man?
How you doing, man? Pretty good for a Monday.
Not bad. I'm dragging.
Dragging, really?
I'm dragging.
Tell me about your weekend.
I gotta slap myself into shape. Gotta wake up here. No, hey, you know what? We talk all San Diego State sports, and I know there's no games going on. It's the off season and pretty much all the major sports right now, but there's a lot going on. I took the weekend to kind of prepare myself for everything. Swish League coming up this summer, and boy, I needed the weekend to just rest. But I'm still tired. I'm still tired. Let's go. Pull it together.
I'll do that to you.
Hey man, a lot going on out there. Good Lord. Anyways, we're very lucky because before we even, start getting too deep into everything, big news out of the Pac-12, right? Don't have that team just yet. I think there's a live look-in on the Pac-12 headquarters, and we're still seeing black smoke on that 8th football team. When that white smoke comes out, we're all going to be rejoicing, and wherever you're at, we're going to be rejoicing. But nothing just yet. But we got some fun stuff to talk about because a lot of developments are happening, right? It's happening, Fiend. It is happening, whatever it is, right?
Sure seems like it. I mean, there's a lot of fire right now. Grant of rights, all that stuff. Sign, that's a big relief. And then, getting this 8th team is huge, so we can maintain our status with the college football playoff. And I'm just excited, man. This is fun times for Pac-12, and a lot of people said that this couldn't be done, and that the Pac-12 was doomed, and there's a dead ship in the water going down. Everyone's going down with it, and it doesn't seem to be the case right now. So yeah, I'm excited.
There's one YouTuber in particular. I don't know if it's a YouTuber, radio personality, or whatever. One in particular that just seemed like completely motivated, like they have an axe to grind against this new Pac-12 for some reason, and in particular our San Diego State AD for some reason. It just seemed like so much clickbait going on these last few months, and I get it. There wasn't a lot being said or a lot being happening, with a lot of things happening with the Pac-12 since October, right, and all this Mountain West stuff, but all the dominoes are starting to fall right now. So anyways, we're going to add to the conversation, dude. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, you guys know him. He's helped us out throughout the years, a lot of different projects, a lot of different research things. And, we're going to bring in the one and only. We don't have any music for Aztec Andrew Serrano. What is going on? Bring him into the mix. What's up, dude? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to see you guys. No white smoke yet, but I think we got some gray smoke looming. I know lots of stuff happening, lots of tweets going out from reliable sources. So it's always good fun, especially on a Monday, kind of propels us through the week.
Dude, you stay way more in tune to all this conference shakeup and expansion stuff than I have the stomach for, to be honest with you. Like, I just want to get to the games. I want to watch football. I want to watch basketball. I want to tailgate. I want to have watch parties, all that stuff. What reliable sources are you talking about?
I love it. I love this Pac-12 stuff, man. Like, don't tell my boss. I'm looking on my phone, seeing what's going on throughout the day. On my lunch break, I'm listening to podcasts all about it. But as you guys mentioned, new grant of rights deal was signed today. All 8 members. I think the first person to report it was either Chris Vanini of The Athletic or Ross Stellinger of Yahoo. So then immediately following after that, John Canzano hopped in the scene. He said that the Pac-12 presidents are meeting tomorrow morning on a video call. So that's really exciting. And, to me, that signals two things, right? Like maybe one, the mediation between the Mountain West and the Pac-12 might be over, right? And then two, that they could be discussing potential invitations, who they're going to invite to the conference. One of the tweets said, excuse me, I don't know exactly who said it, but they said that ongoing discussions are currently underway with potential additions, right? That eighth member, I don't know if it could either be a football and basketball member, but of course the need is an all sports member. So good fun.
I think the one thing you left out there, Andy, was the media deal. And so potentially we might be getting a media deal pretty, shortly. And I think that probably has a lot to do with the fact that the grant of rights get signed and
Absolutely.
that we're looking at adding, an eighth member, because now we have a better financial picture of where we're at as far as moving forward with the deal, the media deal, and the distributions. And I think the huge thing is the grant of rights, right? What didn't get taken care of the last time, when the Pac-12 imploded, right? The grant of rights didn't get signed. They were getting ready to sign the grant of rights, and a bunch of teams bailed, right? And it all fell apart. So this locks us in. That's what I really am, feeling good about, is this locks all 8 teams, 7 in all sports, 1 in basketball. And we're locked in at this point into, a contract with the Pac-12, and there's penalties if you leave. So I'm very excited about that. We didn't get to that the last time we were trying to get into the Pac. And so to me, that's just a huge sort of, it's just a pivotal moment, in this process of getting that grant of rights signed. And I can't wait to see what the deal gets done for the media deal, and also who we pick up, because it could be a couple of teams.
Right. Yeah, as you mentioned, the grant of rights locks all 8 members in until June 30th, 2031. Right, you could leave before that. You'd owe a pretty hefty fee, but yeah, that's a major part. Right, and it's reports are saying that the media deal is pretty much settled, and up to 4 media partners, which is exciting. I don't know exactly who those partners will be, but potentially I'd keep an eye out for TNT, right? They just lost their NBA rights, NBA on TNT. They just picked up 3 college football playoff semifinal games for the next 3 years. And if we can get TNT to pick up, our first tier rights for the Pac-12, at least for basketball, and make the Pac-12 their baby, I think that could elevate the Pac-12 more than any other media partner, because that's what the Pac-12 have been talking about, right? They want a partner that's not just transactional, but is a true partnership to elevate the conference to new heights. And I think that's so exciting.
I love that point about TNT because, obviously we're big basketball watchers, but to be honest with you, I don't really watch the NBA all that much until you get down to playoff time. I love, obviously, inside NBA, Chuck, Shaq, Kenny the Jet, all that stuff. I mean, a tremendous show. And now they're hopping out, right?
Yeah.
They got cut loose. But even they were, what made them so great is they were not scared to be critical of the NBA and talking about how the NBA's numbers of viewership were going way down this last decade or so. So TNT, of course, they wanted to keep the NBA, but at what price tag? You're not going to outbid Amazon, right? So it's kind of one of those things where, like you said, they got that void now. So if viewership is going down in the NBA, it's probably only going to go up in college sports now with NIL and the new resurgence of all these players coming back, staying in college a little longer. So I like that. I've never heard that point before. So TNT, maybe that's a player I haven't thought about.
Right. Yeah, and maybe even an ESPN could get involved, right? I think there's not that many teams on the West Coast that they have inventory for. Like they need more inventory in that late night slot on Friday and Saturday. So you could look for potentially a Pac-12 after dark on both those days. I wouldn't be surprised to see ESPN get involved at all.
I wonder what really took so long to this point. I mean, I know there was some grumblings from those on YouTube, right? When JD kind of put out the timeline of what was it? It wasn't even the media deal, but it led people to think, and they twisted it as if he's saying the media deal is going to be out in March or whatever. But now we're getting to this point, and it just seems like all the dominoes are falling. I wonder what really took that long to get to this point. What do you guys think? I have no idea.
It's a good question. Well, I don't know the answer to.
I mean, I wonder if it's.
I have no idea why it took so long. I mean, and that like we shared in the last episode, that's what made us more nervous, right? The longer it takes, and that's what gives those shows that have the clickbait more ammunition. That hey, this is doomed. This is falling apart. I'm not privy to those conversations, in those rooms and the negotiations and. It could be that they were just trying to get a better deal and get the best deal that they could. And it just took longer for the two sides to come to an agreement. And that's just the way it is in, negotiations and stuff like that. And, factoring in also scenarios, right? Possibly with, okay, we grab this team, how much is it worth? We grab this school, how much is it worth, to the full, contract. And so I don't have the answer for you, but I'm glad that it looks like it's on the near horizon. And we were told, pretty recently that sometime, in June, July it would get done. So this is good stuff.
Well, they definitely got the momentum right now. Pac-12's definitely got the momentum. Once you see those bits starting to come in, those splashes of news coming in. The media deal is going to be the huge one, right? But as far as offering teams, we talked a little bit about it last week. We obviously think our front runner is Texas State, but that's just one. Now that you actually have that capacity to officially invite, I mean, who knows what's going on behind the scenes? Like you guys say, we're not privy to that. So I know you saw a little interaction on X, Andy, out there floating out there. Of course, first and foremost, we all wanted Memphis, Tulane, possibly some of those schools coming over. I don't know how that shakeup has been since then. I know you guys were kind of chatting about it behind the scenes a little bit.
Yeah, man. So I don't know if you have the screenshot, if you could pull it up, but if not, we could just freeball it. But Jeremiah Dickey, the athletic director of Boise State, kind of broke the silence. I thought it was a little interesting that he kind of just started asking for people to send him questions on Twitter. And he went on for a good 2-3 hours answering questions, all sorts of questions, right? Involving the Pac-12 and Boise State. And, one of the questions he got is from a Memphis fan, is if Memphis could be, if there's any way that they can get them into the Pac-12. And he responded, basically say, hey, look, never say never. He has great respect for their athletic director, and the athletic director is ultimately going to do what's best for Memphis and that community. And the Memphis athletic director responded. He said, hey, the respect is mutual. Well said, right? Is that well said to him saying never say never of Memphis joining? I don't know. But now that's up for us to decide and to discuss, and for people on Twitter to talk about. And I think it's a maybe. I'm excited about it. It got me excited of the opportunity that maybe things have changed since he last opened up and had his public comments, maybe about, I think in September when we did offer those schools. Because, a lot of things have changed since then. And one of them is that, Gary Parrish had an excellent segment on his show today, I think Grind City Media. He went on for about 15 minutes talking about how Memphis and their fans are just completely exhausted of being in the AAC, right? And how they can't get up for schools like ECU, Alabama, Birmingham coming into Memphis. Memphis is a top 25 team in both football and men's basketball, and they can't fill their stadium, and it's not going to change, right? But if they can get, as Gary Parrish said, Gonzaga twice a year, San Diego State twice a year, even Utah State twice a year, who they just made a home and home with I don't know if you guys saw that. They just signed a deal to have a home and home with them. And if they could have that in conference, they should jump at that every day. I mean, and the Pac-12 should be doing everything that they can to make that happen. Because I think if Memphis and Tulane join the conference, that's about as close to a Power 5 conference as you can get. It's borderline P5, maybe not there yet, but it's close. And if you're competing every day with these schools, it's only elevating each other's brands. It's good TV. It's good games, right? And that's what everyone wants. People want to get up for these teams, and I really hope it comes to fruition. I'm hopeful that it will.
I'll give you, and I would love to have Memphis. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have Memphis, love to have Tulane. They would be my top choices. But let me give you a reason why it's not going to happen. $27.5 million. That's the exit fee estimated. Pete Thamel from ESPN came out last year when, the teams were approached by the Big 12 and they backed away. And one of the big factors was that it would cost about $27.5 million to exit the AAC because of their grant of rights deal per team. So that's a significant chunk of money that either Memphis is going to have to pay to get out of the AAC, or the Pac-12 is going to have to pony up a lot of cash to make that happen. And I can't, maybe they do it for Memphis. I can't see them doing it for multiple schools. I think it's just too prohibitive. That's why I think a team like Texas State makes more sense in this situation, because the exit fee is only $5 million from the Sun Belt. And so, is Memphis worth 5 times what Texas State is? If they are, then you'd make it happen, right? But I think it does come down to the money issue and how expensive it is for them to get out of their contract. Maybe they can negotiate that down with the AAC, but it's going to be a pretty expensive leave for them, and Pac-12 is going to have to pony up a lot of money to grab Memphis.
Fiend destroyed UNLV's chances last week. Now you're destroying Memphis's chances this week. What's going on here?
I would love for it to happen. I'm just saying, hey, I'm being a realist here, man. This is, it cash rules everything around me, man. And that's what it is. Comes down to dollars and cents, and that's what's driving this whole realignment thing, right?
Yeah, really.
And so teams are trying to maximize their resources. They're trying to protect their resources, and that's just the game. And so I think the play right now is, and what they're likely working on, is getting Texas State into the Pac-12 because of how cheap it is to get them out of that Sun Belt contract and the grant of rights or whatever they signed. And I think they're a very promising program that, for the reasons we mentioned last week, to get into Texas and all of that. Not going to rehash that, but that's where I think we're going for now. I will say maybe Memphis is something down the road that they can continue to work on, but I don't think that's going to happen immediately.
Yeah, I agree that Texas State's likely the most, shoe in out of all of them. Low exit fees. We need that 8th member. Makes sense. Do I think it'd be a disappointment? Yeah, I do. Texas, sorry to any Texas State fans listening. I don't think they have a rich history at all. They're relatively new to FBS. I really haven't heard of them over the past few good football seasons. And I think that we may underestimate how proud of a program Memphis really is, right? Their community and just school in general. Like those people are proud. I feel really bad for them for them getting left out of the Big 12 and then being stranded in the AAC, right? Because they were just as good as Cincinnati and Houston. They're probably better than Houston, at least in football, and UCF, right? They made a college a New Year's Six playoff game too, or a New Year's Six bowl. They did that too, and just their fans not having the opportunity to go to games that are actually meaningful it's horrible. It's like having San Jose State come to town every single week. Their fans aren't going to have it, and they're showing that they're not having it. So when you're talking about money too, think about the fans like actually paying to go to games and paying to buy concessions at those games and them continuously not filling up that stadium. But if you get San Diego State, Gonzaga, Colorado State, Boise State in the building, people are going to come. And
Well, it
that's
also
money
comes
too.
down to the revenue from the TV contract,
Sure.
right? And if it's significantly more because they're in the Pac-12 than it
And
is
travel
than,
costs.
what they're getting from the AAC, then they can offset, that cost over, a few years to be in a better conference, to have more competition, to, elevate their brand, to the play the highest level competition that they're able to, right? The other thing I will say with Memphis is geography. Is farther to get to Corvallis and Pullman, just like we talked a little bit, with Texas State. It's they're kind of isolated out there. You need like a travel partner, and then I get back to, okay, who's your travel partner? Is it Texas State? Is it can you bring someone else from the AAC? Like I said, it's so expensive. That's tough to ask them to come all the way to the West Coast, for all their sports. If you're going to do that, I don't know. Maybe they're football only. I don't know. But where would you put the Olympic sports and basketball? I don't know. But
I'd assume they'd only be football and basketball only. It's too pricey to bring all their Olympic sports.
Okay, so Memphis, you're out of the picture for right now, unless another San Diego State miracle comes about, and the Pac-12 it just pours on into the Pac-12 because the Aztecs, we bring those miracles. We bring those miracles to the conference. Don't get it twisted. Before we wrap things up, anything about the House ruling, because that was a big one. That's a big one in college landscape. I mean, I know Dillinger was very diligent in releasing all his talking points and what the House settlement really means. I know the Aztec Nation and Aztec Link and San Diego State has been putting out their information as far as, okay, the NIL, collectives aren't going anywhere, but now there's revenue sharing. I know it has a lot to do with recruiting. It has a lot to do with scholarships, all that good stuff. So, if I could plug anything as a result of that House settlement, is Aztec Nation, just keep supporting San Diego State. They're going to be having their initiative out there to obviously offer more things for your donations. And, it's another game changer. And I think that also plays into how all this stuff with the Pac-12 is moving forward. Now that there's some certainties coming up, Fiend, you got any on that before we say goodbye to Andy?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, $2.78 billion settlement paid out over 10 years for athletes who participated between, basically the 2016, 2017 seasons to 2024. So a lot of former Aztecs who didn't have access to NIL are going to get some money from that. I think the majority is going to go to football, about 75%, maybe 20% to basketball, women's basketball, and then the rest to the other sports. The scholarships go up to 15 now. But I don't know if the Aztecs are going to use all 15 of those scholarships. Probably not. They probably just stay with what they're doing now and then have a couple of walk-ons on their team. $20.8 million that each athletic budget can spend towards paying the players, the student athletes. And so I think the majority of that is going to go to football again. I think it's like 75%. $20.8 million. Think about that. How much does San Diego State from an athletic budget raise each year? That's a huge chunk of the athletic budget. So, you think that ticket prices are expensive at Snapdragon now? Just wait until, they absorb this cost. Now, some of that will be taken away maybe from the collectives and more added to the athletic department. So some of that, it's just changing hands with the money. But it's going to cost, I think, fans more. And it's really going to benefit the Power 5 programs, the programs that are low, like mid-major, low major, especially in basketball and other sports, are really going to be affected by that. And there's going to be a lot of sports that could get cut. That's just the reality of this, which is sad. One of the good things to come out of this whole thing, though, is the NIL enforcement. So you do have a commission now, the College Sports Commission, led by an MLB executive. He was like a former attorney, like district attorney, no, U.S. attorney that was prosecuting white collar crime. That's good, So hopefully it keeps a fair playing field. And in regards to NIL, anything over $600 is going to be reviewed to make sure that it maintains its market value. It's not overinflated. It's not pay for play. So those are some good things, right? That could come out above that. With that, we'll see. I anticipate there's still going to be under the table dealings. There always has been, just the way it is in sports. But this hopefully takes away the whole Wild West where everything was just open and you could pay players as much as you wanted, and there were no considerations as far as the NIL market value.
Very, very, very good stuff, Fiend. I like that. Very, very condensed version of your thoughts.
Do my best.
Well, we're excited about it. Hopefully more opportunities. Of course, the NIL originators, you're looking at sonsofmontezuma.com. Make sure you guys check out the shop when you can. We'll have some more things coming down this summer leading into football season. What were you going to say, Andy?
Yeah, real quick before I get out of here, I just want to say I think the Pac-12 is probably real happy that settlement got approved because, as you all know, they're named in the lawsuit. And this may have the potential for them to open up the conversation of them getting back their autonomous status. You never know. Never know. But being in that lawsuit, being named in it, being in the room with all those commissioners, even today, that's step number one. So.
Very well said. Thank you, Andy, for joining us, man. We'll look to have you on again sometime. Everybody, let us know in the comments if Andy did a good job or not. I think he did.
He just needs the Burger World headset like I got. We'll have to get him that next time.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Take it easy.
See you, man.
Yeah, Andy.
All right. You guys know that we have been doing a lot of ramping up of the Swish League coverage. It's coming up this summer, June 19th. Juneteenth, that's in 10 days. I cannot believe it, but the Swish League is here, and we are thrilled to see you guys in the chat. Of course, T-Mac, can't forget T-Mac. Hey, man, give him his sound. Somebody give him his sound because you know what? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Talking
Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac.
All the way out there in Medellin. Greetings from Medellin. Happy Monday. Glad to spend some time with the Aztec family. Of course, Aztec Familia. It brings us joy. It brings us joy to bring you joy, man. Brings us joy. Appreciate all you guys, all your support in the chat, of course. All right. It's about that time. You guys know him. He's my Aztec brethren. I see him at the games down there on the court. We're bringing in that goods life coach this season coming up, Mr. Jeff Goodall. Jeff, can you hear me okay? How are you doing, man? Oh, I don't know if he can hear me. I don't know if he can hear me. Can you
hear the words that are coming out of my mouth?
You're on mute. You're on mute. Oh, he's got the right hat on though. I think Dodgers are putting it to the Padres right now though. I don't want to mess it up for you guys, but there he is.
Can you hear me now?
Go. Yep.
You got the right one. What's going on, Coach? Is it Coach? Do you want to go by Coach? You want to go by owner, GM? How do you want to go?
We are switching roles this year. The last couple of years, I've teamed up with another coach that was going to be coaching. I've still retained my USA Basketball Gold card to coach if I need to this year, but we've got a surprise. We're bringing back an official coach so that I can sit there and do a little less X and O's, a little more chirping at the referees, and probably a lot more antics on the sidelines.
Oh man, okay, nice. We're gonna have to bring in Coach Koo, of course, one of the founding members of Swish League. Coach Koo, you're on mute, but I gotta ask you, does that meet Swish League regulations for Mr. Goodall to be doing this?
He has he's got his NCAA certification, the gold license. He's good to go. Yeah.
He already knows I know the rules, man. I follow him to a T, but I think you guys are going to see a whole different side of Swish this summer. I know I've been doing this a long time. What is this, our 7th year?
7th year. Yep.
It's been the best 7 years of summer I think I've ever had, other than maybe when I was growing up, playing Little League from 5 to 12. Out at Rancho San Diego, we made a Little League World Series baseball run. We came one game shy of playing on national TV. But what this means to San Diego and what this means to my family and to Koo and the AYBO, I mean, this is everything. We're 10 days away from probably the best quality summer participation, performance, practice, and live game situation you can get in the United States, in my opinion, because I've seen the Drew online. I watch a lot of the other summer league circuits, but the competition always drops off. And with the Swish, last year's teams were so good that it was even across the board. I'm not looking backwards. I'm not going to talk about what happened last year because I personally got obliterated by one individual who was an NBA player that showed up and put up a 50 spot against us, and we lost by, I think, 8. We beat the team by 18 the week before, but that's okay. That happens. Life goes on.
Bring that fire this year, Jeff. Bring that fire.
You guys.
You need a ringer of your own, Jeff.
I need to. Hey, listen. I was going to say, I will tell you guys this year I got 2 coming in. I'm not going to announce who they are quite yet, but San Diego State, you're going to recognize them. San Diegans, you're going to recognize them. And I would just say I would roll the dice and probably look for an alley-oop off the backboard if I were anybody in the audience.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. We interviewed him about that. Okay, I'm excited now.
We're getting the coach cam ready. We just want one camera solely dedicated to Jeff, even though things are gonna be changing.
To my costumes and outfit changes every year. Come on. You might see a couple different outfits this year. I know you guys have seen some of the ones that I wear courtside at Aztec games. One in particular with the sunglasses and the white canes happen on the court. You might see that one come out this summer just for fun. But we have some other ones. This is where we practice, where we preach during regular season, man. This is the big show.
Craig Sager suits.
You bring this show on the sideline there.
You might see a 3-piece. You never know. I gotta try some new material for next year. And I know you guys love I know Koo hates my one-liners because the officials definitely don't appreciate them. I still think I'm the only coach to get teed up twice, back-to-back years, and thrown out once.
Setting records. Love it.
So I'm gonna. That's why like I said, this year I will let you guys know. Brandon Cheeks, head coach for the San Diego Sharks, will be heading up the roster of That Goods Life and coaching our team to what I'm gonna wager will be one hell of a fun summer and a lot of tough basketball.
Oh, Mr. Tortolot. I wish Tortolot was here to hear that news. He would enjoy that one. He'd enjoy that one. Awesome, man. So year 7 at the Hive. It's the 2nd year being down there at Lincoln High, of course. The Hive, as it's officially known.
Yep.
I love all the information you're giving us. That Goods Life. What's with the name change? What made you decide to change the name this year and start fresh?
We were the Goodall group a couple of years ago. Last year, I think we collaborated. Last 2 years, we collaborated with another entity that I love what they're doing over there with the other guy that we were with. But unfortunately, he's not here over the summer on the weekends, and it was really tough for me to break ties. By no means do I not want him to be a part of it if he still wants to participate. But I sat down with Grandpa, who is really the reason that I continue to do this. My grandfather and grandmother started giving back to the community. Grandpa actually lived down by Hoover High School on 42nd and Euclid growing up. And so the reason I'm passionate about this is these are my roots. I mean, San Diego is where our family's been for 98 years, giving back to the community, participating, with that area of Southeast San Diego. It really means a lot to us. It means a lot to me. And so I said, we're gonna go back to living That Goods Life, and That Goods Life comes from the Goodall Group, and it's one of our hashtags online. So if you guys are curious to see what we're up to, But to me, living that goods life means giving more than you get. It means taking an opportunity to bless others that may not be able to bless themselves. It means going out of your way to give abundantly without any reciprocation or expectations. But also, really participating in the community and different aspects of the community, and my passion for San Diego and for sports. I'm fortunate enough to have been bleeding red and black since I was born, with Grandpa being an alum and aunts and uncles also being alumni. But I was a ball boy starting in 1988-89 back at Peterson Gym. And so for me, this is, going back to the Hive reminds me of going back to Peterson as a young guy, and it's certainly a blessing, and to see everything that Coach Jay's done over there. Also, what Norm Powell has done, and brought in that school too, and the amount of money and work that they've put in to make that a facility the way it is phenomenal. And I want to say it's Respect the Grind is his team, and I give him a lot of props.
The grind.
Thank you. Understand the Grind, UTG. Man, the amount of work that Norm's put in, unfortunately at UCLA, not at San Diego State. That's all right. But I love what he's doing for the community. I love what what Coach is doing down there, and obviously to get a chance to play on a court as nice as that, it's tough. The only other newer court that I know of in San Diego State is Francis Parker, with their two facilities now. But I'd rather go play where you can roll the ball. It's not street ball by any means, but it's got that swag and aura to it. Sometimes there's a little chip on the shoulder when guys go out there and roll the ball up in the court. It's not like, they're coming in with expectations, or they're coming in, entitled, which I think is an issue that I see a lot of times nowadays with this younger generation coming up. And it's these guys are out there hooping because they want to get better. They certainly have no expectations of getting paid for this over the summer, which I love. You got a lot of guys that are playing professionally overseas that come back and put in their blood, sweat, and tears for that. And it's not to say there aren't some guys out there that I'm sure getting, gas money or something like that to come down if they're playing for, or living elsewhere. But I love the Swish. I love my team this year, and I'm excited to showcase the guys we're bringing back. So I think a lot of guys you'll recognize from past seasons. I know San Diego State wise, it was an honor and a privilege last summer to coach BJ Davis. So BJ's back on my team this year. And I got a transfer that I am excited to preview in the Swish in Latrell Davis. I'm going with the Davis brothers this summer.
Love it. My God, man. I was so excited when we landed him in the portal.
I'm excited to watch him. Obviously, this is a great opportunity for people to come and meet him ahead of time before next season. If you're a local, this is where I got to know Micah Parrish and Darian Trammell really well, because they were on my team 2 summers ago, or 3 summers ago, I guess now. And you really get to, this is where I first saw Miles Bird. Miles came out here and played over the summer a little bit, and then, but was obviously we didn't know he was in a red shirt. But you get to see, with how much talent this year's team's got in depth, I expect a lot out of my own personal guys, but I expect a lot of the Aztec players, and I think this is the year that I'll make a bold prediction, just one today, and that's book your Final Four tickets right now for San Diego State this next year. We are that good. We got that much talent.
You hear that, Fiend? You hear that?
Hey, you got my ticket, right, in Vegas? Right? I gave you the...
I just dropped 2 futures.
Fiend in Vegas, I got you, but
250 to 1, man. Where can you get those odds, man? That's amazing.
Cool. How does this make you feel hearing this from Mr. Goodall? All this talk of the community, the style of play. When you really put things into perspective, Lincoln High, you threw back Hoover High. These are foundational schools and areas to old San Diego, right? Swish is tapping into that. Beautiful.
Yeah. No, it's Jeff has brought up a ton of great points, and he's been a Swish lifer. He has been there since the first season, and has kind of helped us grow this whole thing. Every time we, in the summer times, or spring times or whatever, fall after the season's over, he gives us a lot of, feedback, and, he's just been a big piece of what we do. I mean, he was there when we did the COVID season, and, every other league in the country shut down except for us. And, he was there at every game, and with, just, so he's put in a lot for us as far as, just being one of those people, him and his grandfather especially, that they've had our back from the beginning. And him and his family are big reasons why we're able to have success, and why Swish has been able to be around for 7 years. There's a lot of pro-ams, as I said before, when we first started doing this, the reason I wanted to do this is because of how helpful it was for me, back in 98, 97, 98, to be able to go to school, and I was able to play in this. That's how I was able to get a scholarship, was playing in this, and I got seen by a college playing in the San Diego Pro-Am and doing well. And so it means a lot, but that Pro-Am only lasted 2 years, and it was gone and disappeared until we brought it back. So this isn't something that's just a guaranteed thing you can do. It takes a lot of hard work, but most importantly, besides the hard work and behind the scenes that guys like Steve Jones and Mike Howe, John Pasquini, all our base do. It takes people like Jeff and his family for us to be able to continue to do this every single year, and they have our back every single year, and have been so loyal to us and do everything they can to try to make sure the league is. They can do what they can for the league. So it's been great, and him, Jeff and his family have been fantastic. And if sometimes we have to corral Jeff in a little bit, he gets a little crazy, but it's at the end of the day, it's his passion. You know what I mean? Like, he's got passion in what he's doing. He wants his team to be good every year. He goes out there. He's one of those guys that year round is thinking about Swish, trying to make sure he gets players when June's coming around and all that stuff. So Jeff has been fantastic for what we do, and this is how leagues stay around for 50 years, is because they have that good life type teams and people, quality people in your program, and so he's been a big piece of what we do.
Well, thank you, Q.
The dedication, the passion. Appreciate you, Jeff, and I know I'll see you at this summer, but I look forward to seeing you there at Aztec games too, man. I'm excited. BJ Davis, the two Davis, Latrell Davis, man. What a synergy! The synergy of them two being on the team together is going to translate.
It'll be fun. It'll definitely be a good time. And Q, I appreciate everything you said, Q. Most of you guys don't know I'm unofficially part of Q's family. I'm the white brother that doesn't get as much sunlight. I stay in the back and do all the computer work with his mom. But I love you, Q. I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yep.
We'll see you, Mr. Jeff Goodall. Thank you so much. Always a great listen. Always a great.
Yeah. He's a wild guy, man. But he loves basketball, and he loves San Diego especially. So, he's anything with San Diego involved with it, he's definitely going to be behind it. So yeah, he's a good dude.
All right, cool. I know we got waiting in the wings one more Swish guest. Do you want to set up this next guest, because I think you could do it justice.
Yeah. So last year, a couple years ago, we got a new team in. The group was called Valley Farm, based off of the market down there in Spring Valley, and his name is Kevin McFarland, and he is a big time San Diego State guy. He's behind the scenes. A lot of people don't know a lot of stuff that's happened recently in the past 5 years, including this, the Final Four and championship run. He's had a big hand in a lot of that stuff there, and he's just anything that has to do with San Diego State. He's another one of those guys that's just super passionate about San Diego and San Diego State, and he's been phenomenal, and he's got a lot of connections. And so last year everybody knew he had the best team by far on paper, but they learned a lesson kind of coming into it where the Swish is not a joke, and just because you have the best players doesn't mean you're always going to win that game, and guys got to come ready to play all the time. And so he was part of one of our crazier situations where we had an upset, a 1-8 upset, which you guys have spoken about throughout these last couple of weeks. But he's back again, and he's unfortunately for some of these other teams, he is fully engaged this year. So it's he's got a roster full of guys too, and I'll let him be able to tell you guys about that. But he is great guy, man. He means a lot to me. He's been great for me and my family and for the Swish family as well in particular. So yeah, is Kevin McFarland.
All right, let's bring Kevin on. How are you doing, Kevin? First off, I got to say, I love the market. I love the market. My brother lives literally down the street out there in the Casa de Oro area. And I see you. I noticed what you guys are doing.
Yeah, that's Spring Valley. That's 1956. So, you talk about grandparents, which I got to follow Jeff Goodall, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say like that family is the most important family at San Diego for me too. I mean, Jeff's grandpa is the icon. He's my ultimate legend, ultimate mentor, ultimate legend. So I'm gonna talk shit about Jeff, or I'm gonna talk a lot of crap about Jeff. But yeah, I love him like a little brother. There's nobody more passionate. There's nobody more passionate. I was listening to that interview and I was smiling and laughing the entire way. So it was great. The market, Valley Farm's been around since 1956. Like I said, we're actually opening up. It's really exciting. We're opening up a fourth location in Del Mar. So it's a really exciting summer for us, right under Monarch, across from LeBerge. We're opening up a grocery store. Hopefully it permits and everything in the next couple of weeks, right before the track season, which is my other passion in life. Is I got three of them. I got horse racing, San Diego State basketball, and Mateo. I'd be remiss if I didn't. It's 6'5" Padres. So just so you know,
I just saw that in the chat.
6'5" Padres, fourth inning.
Let's
So
go.
we're gonna get this thing over with and watch the ending of that. But yeah, no, it's the market's big. Giving back to the community, like Jeff said, is big. I signed up for Swish just because I got to know Koo and specifically Nathan Mensah, which I didn't realize at the time. I was gaining a family member for life. He's such an amazing kid, amazing man, and just been it's been what I thought I was doing to help Koo and Nathan out in the program. Turned into him helping me out. Like I got more out of it, I think, than he got. And the story is, kind of not really known because Nathan is a very private person, but he came back and we were in a conference room, me and Koo, and Jeff actually helped set that up with Dave Velasquez and a lot of the other coaches to get Nathan back to school. And I sat 2 hours with a couple of my associates. We run the other sponsors, Concurrent Investment Advisors. I run a financial services firm, and I just wanted Nathan to come back, and knew that he was just going to have a tougher road if he didn't, have another good season. And we sat in that conference room for 2 hours. We chopped it up and outlined a pathway back where Nathan could come back, work for me as an intern, learn some life lessons more than off the basketball field. And it wasn't about just giving him a bag of money. And it was about really teaching him life lessons that he can take forward for forever. And he did it. He came in and he took the internship seriously, and he worked all the way up. I gave him March off in 2023. And the goal that I kind of put out there was, I'll teach you all this and you take us to the Final Four. So I remember jumping on the court because I had a field, a sideline pass or a court pass. And I was on the field. I was on the court when the buzzer went off, and I actually jumped over the sidelines before they actually called the game, I think, because I heard that it was like they were in the huddle, and I jumped over, and Seiko gave me a big hug. And then I saw Nate come over and gave me a big hug. And then he took that, when they gave him the hat, the Final Four hat, he took that hat off his head and put it on me and said, I did my job. I delivered the Final Four. So a lot of people don't know that story, but it was really cool. And then to watch Nathan, make the NBA, fast forward to like December, I called Koo up. I said, I was watching the game and he was playing against New Orleans. He got called up and got a two-way. And he was playing New Orleans, and I was sitting in Vegas, and he got in the game like in the first quarter. And I called Koo and I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, Nathan's in the NBA. And the next night he was playing, or it was maybe 2 days later, he was going to play Joel Embiid in Charlotte. And I said, Koo, get a plane ticket. Let's go. And we were there in Charlotte. And I still, of all the things that I've been a part of, that was a dream to watch his dreams come true and watch Koo experience it all. And and then watch him take charges against James Harden and the whole thing, and just watch his whole career has been a blessing for me. And he will be on my roster for Swish.
Nice.
Just dropping bombs. Just
That's
absolutely.
one. That's one. Well, we could keep rolling, but that's
Oh man, where's the explosion sound effect when you need it? Where is man?
I think my team might be able to beat some summer league teams.
Man, well, I know we've been making a big deal of that game winner, and it came at your expense last year in the Swish League. We called it the most exciting moment of the Swish League. And how do you, Kevin, expect to change that this year? Because like we've heard from some of our other coaches coming along, it's like who says it's nothing to take lightly. Anybody could beat anybody. Of course, an Aztec hit that game winner, Devin Watson. So, we felt some kind of way about it. We didn't shy away from it. But how do you see things going differently this year now that that competition is fierce every single game?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the first year as I signed up for this, I was really just doing it to support Koo, and I didn't really take it too seriously because I was just getting used to the Swish League. Last year, I fielded a pretty good team, and that random game kind of happened, and I didn't really understand it, which we kind of were. I was telling Koo we were a team that like played with our food a lot, right? Like we were just like this team that just like messed around and was just out there kind of like it was just about having fun, and it's still going to be about having fun. But I think I think we'll take it a little more serious when we get to the playoffs. I think that Devin just got cooking, and props to him for hitting a half quarter in the Elam ending game. Billy was upset. I told Billy that's not going to happen again. So that's another. I'll just keep firing him off. But I took Billy. There'll be a theme here of me taking players that used to play for Jeff away. So keep laughing. But so Billy played for Jeff the first year. I took Billy back. Billy's like a little brother. I mean, he's like one of my favorite Aztecs. I mean, if I have five guys, and I'm talking everybody, Billy would be one of those five. So there's no way that Billy wasn't going to play for me. He is literally one of my favorite Aztecs. So he'll be there, and I don't think he's gonna let us forget about that one. I will be bringing back Miles because he can't. He has to redeem himself, right? So Miles will be on the team, and we're gonna make sure that he treats the 2 minutes this time around, and Swish a little bit. Like we gotta close it up. We're not gonna be in a tight game with 2 minutes. Hopefully left to go, but Miles will be back. But no, I mean, listen, I'm glad I provided you guys some excitement. I hope I can provide you some excitement this year with some like pop-up players and an alumni, like an alumni feel. Like really, This is what I do this for, is to get the guys back together. The relationships that those guys have, if I can help bridge some friendships, coming back together. I mean, we are so fortunate in the program that we've established over, the last couple decades, of everything with Fisher and Dutch and the entire coaching staff. I don't think anybody really realizes, like, I brag all the time about like what we have. And I do that I'm very connected in the college basketball world. I do that to guys like Coach Pitino or Louisville or Mick Cronin. I mean, I tell everybody, and the players that we've had, like when you start lining them up now, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Like, and they all come back. A lot of them are coming back to San Diego to spend some time this summer. Jaden Ledie's doing a camp on July 28th that I'm going to help with. I can't promise that Jaden's going to play, but if he's going to play for anybody, he's going to play for me. So we'll say that. But who knows if Jaden actually ends up on a Swish court. I'm going to try to persuade him. But a lot of the guys will be back to support Jaden, and a lot of guys are coming back. And I want to make it an alumni team where people could come out to Lincoln and they don't know who they're going to see, whether it's bridging a team that Billy or Lorenzo Wade played on, that some of these guys are still playing basketball, to the the great team we had with Malachi or Yanni or all those guys, they're in town, might see them on a court, right?
I even
So
saw who was that? Zoe Wade last year. Saw Zoe Wade last year.
yeah, if I'm doing my starting five, like he's the captain, right? Like so, Lorenzo is if I think about San Diego State, Lorenzo was my best friend, and it was one of my best friends, and still is one of my best friends out here in Vegas. And he was my first Aztec that I really formed a relationship with, and then I became really tight with everyone on his teams going forward. Mo Abakar, Kyle Spain, Mark Slaughter, all those guys. Richie Williams, like that entire squad, and those teams were so good. And that's really when I got really, really, really involved with the team. And then it just continued on. And then Zoe actually came back and was a graduate assistant. Most people forget. And he coached, he coached guys for a year and came back and got his degree. So that was a very, very important kind of step in his career. And I was there for it. I got Caleb Giordano, growing up, his dad played on my 6th grade basketball team, 7th grade basketball team, 8th grade basketball team. So I got Caleb a walk on to San Diego State. So formed a lot of bonds when Caleb was playing, and then took it to a whole nother level once Nathan and the whole Final Four run. So I just know a lot of the guys. I like to support them. I like to create an environment for them to have fun, give back to the community. So that's my idea of Swish. If it turns into a TBT team somewhere down the line, these guys want to play together, I'm with it, but they got to want to do it before we actually sign up for that. But that's where it's at. I do everything that I can for the university, for Mesa. Jeff and Wendy are amazing. Caroline, I'm really active behind the scenes in that type of stuff. Mesa Foundation's done an amazing job. I'm pinching myself that we were able to kind of keep this team together. I was having sleepless nights like everybody else in San Diego. So super excited about next year.
Yeah. So, hey, Kevin, I haven't issued you a formal apology yet, but it's my fault that you guys lost in the quarterfinals last year. I interviewed JCJ a couple games before.
I saw that. Yeah.
And he said, I asked him if he was
hey man, I'm
run
okay
the table, and he said, yeah. I'm okay, and so it's the announcer's curse. So I take full responsibility for that.
I'm okay with it. I did learn humility a lot. That was a lesson, but I think being humble is very important. But I think in this particular case, we like to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of trash talk. This is supposed to be fun. So I didn't actually have any sleepless nights of losing that 1-8 winner. That wasn't like something, like Miles the night before or something. I'm a little bit asleep if he's gone. But if he would have went to the NBA, Miles was my guy. It would be my guy forever. So and I'm so happy what he's doing and everything like that. And I'm excited to see what he comes back and does. It was really weird because I was at AG's wedding a couple weeks ago, and I'll give you this little thing because I know Jeff claimed the Final Four, which I love Jeff's predictions because he's always very bold. But I said to Miles, when Miles made his announcement, because no one really knew, I'm telling you, no one knew, right? Which way he was going. When I heard it, it brought me back to when Nathan said he's coming back. And I told Miles that. I said, this feels a lot like that, right? And that's kind of that's maybe the final thing that this team maybe needs next year to make a really deep run. And Miles just looked at me and he goes, that's what I came back for. So, I love those expectations. I think that the team in 2023 had those secretly and silently. If you were to talk to AG and you were to talk to Nathan, that's what all those dogs were talking about. They were talking about a run like that. And I think that you're going to start to get that kind of, that's going to be a feeling with this team. So why not?
That was
interesting. It's interesting you bring that up because we brought that up in a previous podcast of how this team kind of mirrors that 2023 team and what happened the year before, getting bounced out of the tournament, all the disappointment that they had in making that decision to come back to, make a deep run the next year. And if you don't have that disappointment, maybe you don't get, the opportunity for a deep run the next year, like happened in 2023. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that this is going to be, magic again in 2026. And man, that would just be awesome if we could make another run to the Final Four.
We have something special. I mean, it's amazing to be a part of. I didn't know it was gonna get like the Final Four just took it to a whole nother level, and it is a personal vendetta. And I talked to Dave Velasquez about this, and he thinks I'm crazy, but like I'm very bold about predictions, and like Jeff Goodall, but like I'm not with it. That they kind of were like the worst thing I heard after we made our national championship appearance was we're never gonna go back. Like that's fighting words. Like that's just like that's not what I think, right? So
it just makes you want to go even more. Once you
I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help in any way I can, and then I like in the off season, we rolled up our sleeves and just really everybody. There's so many people behind the scenes that people don't realize that go into what brings something like that. Which brings me to my coach, like. So a little bit of a difference of like, and listen, this is in no way like a knock against Terrence, who coached my team for the first couple of years, but and I don't even think, I don't think it's, it's a swish and whatever happens, but I wanted to give a person an opportunity this summer that deserves it. And it is our graduate assistant, Shane Geschwind. He works the guys out, and he is such a, you think about like all the people that are behind the scenes that nobody actually sees. And he's in the gym with these guys and he's working them out all the time. Right. And he asked me, hey, can I coach your Swish team? And I said, absolutely. Right. So, we're going to use that as a, like he's going to have some fun with it. The guys love him. He works the guys out at the Jam Center, and it just made a lot of sense to bring him back or to bring him into Swish. And I think that will get the guys excited because, he's really close with a lot of our roster. And he's close with a lot of the alumni base. So that's an exciting thing that I'm happy to kind of like witness and watch. And he's excited to be back. And the guys that are coming back are excited to kind of be back a little bit and hang out with their old buddies. So, if you want, I don't really care because I'm not going to hold back. Like everybody just kind of I know who Jeff's talking about. I don't know if I'm going to try. I'm not going to try to steal anything from Jeff. I don't think this year, but I mean, I have some other guys. I'll just give you guys. I'm going to drop the roster Cootie anyway, so I might as well just kind of like drop it so everybody kind of like knows what's possible. So just show up at the Lincoln, and maybe some of these guys I say are going to be out there. But
don't give them.
You want me to run through? Don't give them all.
Make it so they got to come to the gym and see these guys, man. Don't give them too much.
I'm over here trying to mute Koo's mic. I'm trying to mute. No.
Okay, a lot of people that played for Jeff on his past Swish teams. A couple that he mentioned in this interview. And then I will say, like, I'm going to probably get Boogie to play. Boogie played for us last year. So Boogie, I mentor him through Lorenzo too. Great kid, awesome, and he's originally from San Diego. So you'll get guys like that. One of my good friends out here in Vegas is Jeremy Pargo. He just dropped a movie called The Final Play. He plays in the Big Three, but we'll try to get Jeremy out there. But no, there's my list, and we got a lot of them on there. And a lot of fun guys, maybe even a crowd favorite from this year's season. Might be draining some threes. So it's
Hey, that's exciting enough. That's exciting enough.
It's gonna be a lot of Aztecs, right? Like a lot of Aztecs. And since everybody's going for the new guys, like just in the JCJ kind of thing, we're taking one of the new guys too. So I'm gonna take Sean Newman in early too, so he'll be on the squad. He's a business major, so I kind of want to mentor him too. So that's really close and important to me, and he's expressed some interest in the recruiting process for that too. So love to build a relationship with good young men, and that again, like Dutch and the whole coaching staff, man, the people they recruit and the individuals they recruit,
Amazing.
are just absolutely amazing. The people, the kids, the you know, it's so shocking to me, right? Like all the stuff they did last year for the community through Mesa. I mean, outside of basketball, it just makes you feel real proud, you know, to be an Aztec.
It's very easy to root for the Aztecs. It's very easy to root for these guys. You get a chance to meet them once, and you're just like, I get it, man. This is a family, it's a team. Very easy to root for these guys.
We got the opportunity to sit down with Nathan. You know, I'd never had a long conversation with him, and we were at the banquet a couple of years ago. It was the year before the 2023 team. I think it's the year before, the summer before you know, he was interning for you. And we had Mateo and I had a conversation with him, and it was nothing about basketball. It was all about like his major and what he wants to do after basketball. And it was so cool to just have a conversation about life, you know, and he's just such a gentleman and you know, great person.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and that's not. I think Koo doesn't get a lot of credit either. Like I really behind the scenes, I got to see everything that he does for like the whole process. When you put yourself in the shoes of like some of these kids that Koo helps, I mean, that's what it's about, right? You know, like Nathan's story is you know. It's still untold, right? He's a very humble, private person, but coming over here, you know, 14 years old to New York, not knowing anything about, you know, like where he's going or what he's doing, and to watch what but he's very cerebral. He's very calculated. I could tell you that me and Koo, I kept calling Koo, like, is Nathan coming back? He's like, I don't know, you know, like he was holding his cards close, you know, and he was analyzing the whole thing, right? So, but that's what made him such a good basketball player too. It wasn't just athletic ability, and still is. It's not his athletic ability that makes him great. It's all the coaches are like, man, this guy knows the plays. He knows, he pays attention. I mean, his basketball IQ is off the roof, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. But I'm excited because I want to create fun for Nathan. I don't know if he'll find it as much fun as I will, but I want him to have his old teammates and have some fun and you know, come out and enjoy the summer. He's been in Europe the entire year, so I want him to have some fun. Cool.
Well,
We're gonna have some fun this year with Nathan.
Absolutely.
You guys heard it here. We're all going to have some fun. Make sure you guys come on down to the Swish League Thursdays, Sundays, all summer long, starting on June 19th, Juneteenth, and running to the beginning of August. Kevin, this was great. It's a great chance to meet you and get to know a little bit more of what's going on behind the scenes. Of course, excited to see your team out there. I know we're locked up, we're tied up now, but we're gonna let you get back to that big game. We're all.
Are you a Dodger fan? Is this what I'm feeling?
No, not at all.
I'm just gonna say, like, that's like
born and raised San Diego. Come on.
I know, but people don't, man, come on. People ask me all the time, man, and this is the toughest decision. The toughest question I get is, would I rather have? Because my grandparents were original season ticket holders in the 50s. I'm Padres, man. I'm very upset about the last season. Would I take a Padres World Series or a national championship from the Aztecs? And I really, really can't. I can't. It's a split. It's a dead heat. You know. The only thing I would say is I would take a Kentucky Derby winner with me winning a horse above both of those. But like Matt Story always asked me that question, and I really don't. I really started to think like I've gotten really close with both. We're going to get both. We're at 6-6. It's going to get crazy. But what I would say is thank you for all you guys do. I know you guys took it to the next level with the Swish League too. You guys, you know, are what you do to kind of, you know, bring awareness to everything that's happening inside San Diego sports is really necessary and needed. And you know, it doesn't go unnoticed. I know there's a lot of people that love what you guys do, and let's just have some fun this season. It's more important fun. I mean, I'm going to have some guys out there, and I will say the last thing I say is Valley Farm. It's not, so my cousin's going to kill me, right? So I got to be on this podcast. It's not plural. So he gets mad anytime, and they call it farms. We have multiple Valley Farms markets, but it's a Valley Farm market.
It's Koo's fault because it's Valley Farms on the website, and that's where we got it. Valley Farm from. So you can blame Koo for that.
I'll hold Koo. Like, I'm not going to disown Koo for that mistake. So, but
I got you. We'll make sure it's right everywhere, man. Don't worry.
Well, I will say thank you for all that. That really means a lot to hear that. I'm going with the Aztecs on that, Natty. Padres, Aztecs. That's a tough one. That is like such a tough argument, but going with the Aztecs for sure.
I'm no comment. I'm not that divided.
I get it.
The Final Four was the best sporting event ever in my life, and I want to do it so bad again. Want that opportunity again.
To win a college national championship, especially in the major sports,
I'll go there.
You got a payroll. Now things are changing, obviously now. So
I go there. For me, it's so deep rooted into my family. The Padres, the grandparents, like my mom. My mom's 75 years old and she watches every single Padre game. She watches every Aztec game too. So, but like, it's just that's why I can't just simply say Aztecs. Like, if it's only personal, but there's just so much. As you see, Valley Farm gets crazy when the Padres get rolling too. So like, it's just, I don't know. It's a dead heat for me.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Valley Farm, the one and only, all the locations. Thank you, Kevin. We'll talk to you.
Thanks, Kev. Thanks for everything you do. Appreciate
it. Thanks, Kev.
You too. Thanks, guys.
All right, there it is. We're gonna get it right. Hey,
I didn't mean to throw you under the bus, Q. Sorry. Yes, I was looking at your website and I was going to the roster and said Valley Farms, and then you came up and said, "Hey, it's Valley Farm." I was like, on the website.
Yeah, you're right. We'll make sure we get it right everywhere. But yes, it's just Valley Farm. He was on me all year about that too. So.
Yeah.
Everybody's throwing each other under the bus in this episode. Yeah. I love it. It's great.
And you got to be accountable. You can hold me accountable for that one. That's on me.
Dude, thank you so much for activating your GMs and coaches for the Swish League with us. Of course, we're looking forward to all the broadcasts, all the streams, and of course, getting down there just in person there to watch these games. This was an Aztec episode. It seemed like so much, right? But that's a big element of the Swish League. So all you guys watching, come on down, check it out. You won't be disappointed. And we'll put it out there.
Yeah, I know I stopped him from telling you guys all the goods that is coming, man. But he's got some heat, man, and it's people that some guys that people are are definitely beloved in this city and on that San Diego State campus, and then there's some guys who are some pros who are going to be some surprises that people don't know about. They're not San Diego State guys, and they're just pros. So. He's got guys lined up, and I'm excited about the season. And guys like Kevin and Jeff always up the bar. Like Elite Ballers, those teams, they up the bar when they bring these players in, because now these other teams, to compete, you got to go get guys. So as long as we continue to do that and grow, the league is going to be fantastic. So yeah, everybody come on out. You have no idea who's going to be there, but every week this year we're hoping that it's going to be one of those things where it's you show up to the gym, you're gonna be happy because you're gonna get to take some pictures and hang out and shake hands with somebody who you never thought you would be able to see, but you're gonna get to see him for free in the summer in a high school gym and talk to him and take pictures and all that stuff. So it'll be good. It'll be a lot of fun, and this is gonna be the best year so far, and hopefully we continue to say that for the next 20 some years down the line.
Awesome, love it, can't wait. All right, cool. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon, and then see what's up for next week.
Yep. Appreciate you, fellas.
All right. Always good to talk to you, Koo. See you soon.
Yes, sir, my friend. All right, Fiend.
Okay. There it is. And a jam-packed show. Fiend. That was awesome.
I'm so hyped right now. I mean, all the Aztecs they were dropping, and former Aztecs, and Aztecs who, throw the ball off the backboard to themselves, maybe, on the team. And I'm really excited. So this is if they all come out, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun regardless. But Seeing all the former Aztecs for life, all the guys that are transfers coming in, guys returning, man, action-packed, fun summer. Can't wait. Make sure you get down to the Hive this year. It is going to be, it just seems like every year it just gets better and better.
Action-packed. Okay. I know the chat was still going off. It's kind of backtracking to what we were talking all about. You guys make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Go back and check the replay of this. We went into Pac-12, the grant of rights, expansion, house settlement, all that stuff. So make sure you guys check it out. Share with your friends. Share it with Aztec Nation. They need to hear it and see it. Fiend, how we doing?
Always a pleasure, man. Good.
All right. Everybody, thank you so much. We're gonna, 9 days and counting for Swish League, and of course, Pac-12 news is gonna be flooding in. I mean, media deal can happen any day now. Expansion team could happen any day now. SDSU baseball still needs a head coach, Fiend. We'll get into that with the spitballers hopefully soon. And a lot going on though. Okay, on behalf of myself, SD Sports Fiend, and Mike Tortolot somewhere out there. He's on a break. He's on a break. What would you say? He's out of the office. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. On behalf of him, and of course, Aztec Andy, thank you, Andy Serrano, for joining us and laying down some facts. That's great stuff. Everybody have a great night. Let's go get this. Let's go get this win, Padres. I'm gonna go tune in. I'll watch it with you guys. All right. Have a good night. See ya.
Go Aztecs.